This video will show you how to perform string calculations. You can perform string calculations at the dataset level or at the dashboard level. To perform a calculation at the dataset level in a data worksheet, first open the data worksheet for editing. To perform a string calculation on a dataset, create an expression column. You can do this by pressing the FX button or Create Expression button in the title bar of the dataset. For this example, we would like to use a string calculation to concatenate the company name with the state name. To do this, press the FX button and then enter a name for the new column. This creates a new column in the dataset and opens the formula editor where you can create the string calculation. You can write the expression either using SQL syntax that your database can process or using JavaScript syntax, which will be processed within the data worksheet. In general, if you can write an expression using SQL, this will result in better performance, while JavaScript is generally more flexible and easier to write. In this case, we'll write the expression as JavaScript. To create the string expression, delete the existing formula in the text box at the bottom, and then create the desired expression. In this case, we would like the company name, which we can add by clicking on the company field in the fields list, to which we want to concatenate a comma and a space, and this result we wish to concatenate to the state field, which again you can select by clicking on it in the fields listing. Here we are using the JavaScript concatenation operator, which is the plus symbol. This string expression concatenates the company name with a comma and a space, and concatenates that result with the state value. To save the expression, press the OK button, and verify that the new column has been added to the dataset. This new field in the dataset now contains the company name followed by the state. To save the dataset with the new field, press the Save button in the toolbar. You can also do string calculations at the dashboard level. For example, let's say that we wanted to add the company name concatenated with the state to this table in a dashboard. As you can see, in the dataset, the company and the state are separate fields. And we could add these separately as columns, but in order to make a single column with both the company name and the state name, we will need to do a string calculation. To do this, right-click on the dataset in the component panel and select New Calculated Field. Select the Detail option and provide a name for the new calculated field. This opens the formula editor. Here we can write the same expression that we did previously in the data worksheet. Again, it's just the value from the company field concatenated with a comma and a space, and concatenated again with the value from the state field. Again, it's easiest to enter the field names by clicking on the fields in the field listing. Press OK to create the new calculated field. The calculated field appears as part of the dataset, although the calculated field only exists within the context of this particular dashboard. To add the field into the table, simply drag the field as you would any other field to add it to the table. Let's consider another type of common string calculation, selecting a substring from a larger string. In this case, imagine that we're concerned about the length of some of the product names that appear in the name column. In particular, if a product name exceeds 10 characters, we would like to truncate the name to 10 characters. To do this, we can again create a calculated field that selects a substring representing the first 10 characters from each product name. The procedure is the same as before. Right-click on the dataset and select New Calculated Field. Choose the Detail option and provide a name for the calculated field. Press OK to open the formula editor. The field that contains the product names is, of course, the name field, which we can add into the expression from the fields list. And the JavaScript function that returns a substring is called substring. It can be found in the string folder. The function accepts a starting index and an ending index, and is accessed as a method of the string. Therefore, we'll follow the original string with a dot, and then the substring function. The start index indicates the first letter to be included in the substring and is indexed from 0. We want to begin the substring with the beginning of the word, so this index will be 0. The ending index is the index of the character following the last character to be included in the substring. Therefore, if we want to include 10 characters in the substring, the 10th character would have index 9, and the ending index would therefore be 10, the index following the last character to be included in the substring. This string calculation will return the first 10 characters of the value in the name field. If desired, you can concatenate an ellipses to the result to make it clear that the value returned is a partial string. Press OK to save the calculation, and then add the new name short field in place of the existing name field in the table. Observe that each product name displays 10 characters, followed by an ellipses. Note, however, that the ellipses is shown even if the product name contains only 10 letters. For example, in the case of Easy Chess, which contains exactly 10 characters. To prevent the display of the ellipses in this case, we can specify that we want to apply the truncation only in cases where the product name contains more than 10 letters. To do this, let's edit the calculation by right-clicking on the calculated field and selecting Edit. We'll add a conditional statement to test whether the original string has more than 10 letters. The conditional statement tests whether the original string contains more than 10 characters. If it does, then we will return the substring with the appended ellipses. If the original string does not contain more than 10 characters, then we will simply return the original string. As you can see, product names that contain 10 or fewer characters do not display the truncation and ellipses, whereas product names that do contain more than 10 characters are truncated and are shown with an ellipses. Finally, let's look at one last common string calculation, which is converting a string to uppercase or lowercase letters. In this case, let's say that we want to convert the values in the category column to uppercase. To do this, again, we can create a calculated field. Right-click on the dataset and select New Calculated Field, choose the Detail option, and then provide a name such as Category Upper. There is a JavaScript function, again, available in the string folder that will do this computation, and the function is called toUppercase. To use this function, first add the original string field into the formula. In this case, it's the category field. Then type a dot and the name of the function, which you can add by clicking in the function listing. This expression will take the original category value, convert it to uppercase, and return the result. Press OK to save the calculated field, and then replace the existing category column with this new category upper calculated field. You can find many additional common string functions in the string folder of the JavaScript functions list.